All right here. So we can tell that we might need to make some adjustments here. So the thing that sticks out to me the most, first and foremost, if we got this piece of state that we initialize to null, and we use this piece of state directly in our use Pokemon hook. And if we recall, our use Pokemon hook only takes a Pokemon name, which is a string. However, we're initializing this to null, so that makes me think that we should give this, we'll start with saying this can be a string or null, and let's confirm that. So if we see where we use set selected Pokemon, we use that in our onViewStats call. We pass it a Pokemon name. Whereas onViewStats used, that's used in our search form, which takes a function that gets a search value, which is a string. So Pokemon name is a string. So that tells me this function here should be a string or null. Why do we want to supply it with null? Well, that allows us to set it as undefined. Alternatively, I'm just being explicit here that there's going to be an undefined value. You could have also refactored this to be an empty string, got rid of the null here altogether, and that should resolve our type error here. However, if you did want to keep the null here and keep the default value, we can go into our use Pokemon here, update this like we were going to do before to null. And then in the previous video, if you remember, we changed this to a string. We could also change this back to null. Or we could keep it an empty string, actually. That doesn't matter in that case there. It's a falsy value anyway. Great. So if we, again, take a look at the remaining error here, we've got this get Pokemon name. Okay, which gets it. What is it in this case? It is a named resource. Get Pokemon name is expecting a Pokemon. Interesting. So it is certainly possible that we've mistyped this in the previous video. So if we go to it here, get list of Pokemon, use list of Pokemon. So, I see what the problem is. I don't think we've incorrectly typed this here, but I don't think it was appropriate that we typed the get Pokemon name as a Pokemon. I think we need something a bit more generic where it's just an object that has a name that is of type string. And I think that should resolve our error here. So this is another little got you. And this is something that you'll probably come across when you're typing your JavaScript apps over to TypeScript is sometimes you're going to make these mistakes where you think you've got to type correct for the use cases that are in TypeScript, but it's sometimes hard to get the whole picture. Is this the best solution here? It's hard to say. However, if we want it to be able to work with all objects that have a name property, this would be the best solution here. Now that looks like it. That is it for the workshop. In the next video, we'll take a look at what you can do now that you've went through and you've got a basic understanding of how to work with TypeScript in React.